That store Urban Outfitters has made things very confusing for my generation.
This comedian has quickly become one of the best in the game. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 things you didn't know about Ali Wong.
People don't tell you about all the crazy shit that goes down when you get pregnant.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at all the most interesting facts about comedian, actress, and writer Ali Wong.
And for all the young women who are in their 20s who are like, ew, I would never do that, ew, gross, ew. Grow up.
Number 10. Her husband works her merch table.
I'm just waiting for the right moment to, become a housewife, financially, you know?
In her first Netflix special, Baby Cobra, Ali Wong spends a lot of time joking about wanting to be a housewife with a husband who supports her. In a strange twist of fate, her success as a comedian has almost made the opposite scenario come true. Now that she has 2 major Netflix specials and a movie she penned under her belt, her husband has actually quit his position as a VP of product at GoodRx and tours with her and their 2 children, sometimes even working at her merch table in order to lend a hand.
I want my husband to get us to a certain point financially. I want to get to the point as a couple where I can comfortably afford sliced mango.
Number 9. She attributes her success to having a nanny.
I'll tell you how I balance family and career. Real talk? I have a nanny. That's it. That's the answer.
In Hard Knock Wife, Wong talks about the privilege she has to have help to take care of her children, attributing her ability to do it all to having a nanny. When talking about work-life balance, she acknowledges that she wouldn't be able to pull it off without hiring help. In an interview, she told the New York Times that she finds it frustrating that more rich and famous moms don't talk about the fact that there is a staff of people helping them out, saying, quote, "It's unfair to the hardcore stay-at-home moms to pretend you're able to have an amazing body by chasing around your kids."
It's expensive for me and my husband. So the both of us, we have to hustle. We have to work very hard to not take care of our child ourselves.
Number 8. She's multi-talented.
Hello, welcome, thank you. Thank you for coming, hello.
While most people are familiar with Ali Wong because of her hugely popular Netflix specials Baby Cobra and Hard Knock Wife, she has actually worked in the industry wearing a bunch of different hats. She was a writer for several seasons of Fresh Off the Boat, and has made appearances on several comedic TV shows. In 2019, she began voicing the character Birdie on the animated show Tuca and Birdie, which she also executive produces.
Oh man, we've been through so much. This is the end of an era, Tuca.
That's not the only voice work she has done either, having lent her voice to projects like the Angry Birds movie. Also, in 2019, the romantic comedy that she wrote, produced, and stars in, Always Be My Maybe, was released on Netflix and in select theaters.
The worst fear in life is for me to have to tip somebody. That's how I learned to cut my own hair.
Number 7. She majored in Asian American Studies.
But I think that for marriage, it can be nice to be with somebody of your own race. The advantage is that you get to go home and be racist together.
Today, it seems hard to imagine Wong doing anything but comedy, but she actually considered a career in academia before she made a name for herself in Hollywood. She went to college at UCLA and majored in Asian American Studies there, which is where she became friends with the 7 women who she remains close with today. She makes light of her past, saying to Vanity Fair, quote, "Ethnic studies is a major where you study how to blame everything on white people. It's not supposed to yield income." It would be tough to say, though, that her studies didn't inform her comedy.
My husband, half Filipino, half Japanese. I'm half Chinese and half Vietnamese. And we spend 100% of our time shitting on Korean people. It's amazing.
Number 6. She's written a book.
I can also tell that I'm getting older because my Kindle is turning into a self-help library. I'm not interested in books like 50 Shades of Grey.
We already talked about all the ways that Wong has used her comedic and acting skills, but we left out one other tool that she has in her belt: writing. Not writing for TV or movies, but writing for print, which she did when she penned Dear Girls, which will hit shelves in the fall of 2019. The book is written as a series of letters addressed to her daughters. However, she admits to Vanity Fair that, based on the content, she won't let them read it until they're 16, even though they'll be allowed to watch her comedy specials at 13. In the work, she details her admittedly crazy youth and gives advice to her kids about how to navigate the world.
I'm gonna repeat that shit to my daughter over and over and over again. Do not fall for that trap. I fell for that shit once.
Number 5, she's open about therapy.
I make fun of my husband a lot, but the reality is that he is my best friend.
When she sat down for an interview with Julie Miller of Vanity Fair, she was quickly open about the fact that she and her husband, Justin Hakuda, attend couples therapy together. This may come as no surprise considering how open she is about a wide variety of traditionally private subjects in her comedy specials, but it's still interesting to hear a celebrity open up about having professional help in this area. On the topic, she said, quote, "People are worried about other people thinking something's wrong in your relationship, and it's like something is wrong in every relationship. So if you're not willing to admit that something is wrong, then something is wrong with you."
We've been together now for 5 years. And for 5 years, I've packed his lunch every single day.
Number 4, she wears children's clothes.
You know, I think I used to be a much different comic before I had the baby.
Wong's tiny and at first glance unassuming presence is part of what makes her comedy work so well, because when she speaks, the words coming out of her mouth seem so out of step with her physical appearance. And in fact, she shared a little secret with Vanity Fair in her interview promoting Always Be My Maybe. She sometimes shops in the children's section. When she was complimented by her interviewer on her jumpsuit, she was quick to brag that she got a steal from Zara Kids. Quote, "It's better standing up," she said, since it's meant for the torso of a person who's hitting puberty and a little tight around the crotch area.
When you give birth to a baby, they hand you a diploma that says, "Congratulations!"
Number 3, Keanu Reeves is a fan.
I missed you. I missed you too. I missed you so much. I missed your mouth. I missed your heart. Oh God, I missed your beard.
While Ali Wong might not quite be a household name, she does count some famous faces among her fans. Case in point, Keanu Reeves. When it came time to cast Always Be My Maybe, Wong reached out to Reeves' team to see if he'd be willing to play a role, one that was actually written specifically with him in mind.
And we wanted to be like an Asian American icon who was funny and a great actor, and there's literally no one else besides Keanu, so he was always our first choice.
Surprisingly, to her, he jumped at the chance to work alongside her, even requesting to meet her in person and going on to quote her stand-up specials to her. In an email to Vanity Fair, Reeves said, quote, "To have had the opportunity to work with such a brave, talented artist and great person was a joy and inspiring."
You know, the stunt coordinator for John Wick taught me this game he invented. It's called Vicebreaker. It's like Truth or Dare, but a little more apocalyptic.
Number 2, Eddie Murphy was her favorite comedian. Many famous comedians can look back at their pasts and tell you how they've always been obsessed with comedy, even from a very young age. Ali Wong admits that she wasn't a comedy nerd growing up, but that she did have a favorite comedian as a kid, Eddie Murphy. She and her brother both liked him so much that they'd record his most famous SNL skits to rewatch. And in fact, when you keep that in mind while watching her stand-up specials, it's easy to see the inspiration she takes from Murphy in terms of her physical mannerisms and swaggering onstage persona.
If you are hiring a 25-year-old pretty young thing to be your nanny, you a dumbass.
You're not going to believe our number 1 pick. But before we get there, we had to squeeze in a few honorable mentions.
I'm Maria Kondo. 私のミッションは片付けによって世界をときめかせていくことです。
Breastfeeding is this savage ritual that just reminds you that your body is a cafeteria now. It don't belong to you no more.
Number 1, she only started performing stand-up at 23.
I don't know what that pocket in the front is for. That's just where I put my keys when I run.
So many people who are successful in their fields have been at it since they were very young, but Ali Wong only performed her first stand-up set when she was 23 years old. Despite her late start, she still remembers getting her first big laugh when she was young, around 6th grade when she was at camp during a miming game where she hammed it up pretending to wash an elephant's butt. Her first actual set was at Brainwash Cafe that she describes as, quote, half cafe, half laundromat, 100% homeless shelter. After that, she made a move to New York to pursue comedy further, and the rest is history.
And now, if I don't work, we die. Why else do you think I'm performing 7.5 months pregnant? All right, I've been Ali Wong. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.